You are watching Yeticket.com with Al McGee, movie reviews and interviews. This is Yeticket.com, Yeticket.com, your entertainment ticket.
We are your entertainment ticket, that's right. Yeticket.com. We are your entertainment ticket, that's right. Yeticket.com. 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 We are your entertainment ticket, that's right. Yeticket.com. Yeticket.com.
Hey, this is Al McGee with your entertainment ticket at www.yeticket.com. I'm here at the Broward Performing Arts Center. I'm here to interview someone named Adrienne Barbeau and other cast member of Pippin. I saw the play last night. I tell you, it was beautiful, brilliant, sexy, and colorful. You got to come see Pippin. But now watch my interviews with the cast members of Pippin here at the Broward Center for the Performing Arts. Pippin.
Okay, well, welcome to all of you. Thanks for being here at the Broward Center. And I'd like Callum Bergman to come up here onto the stage. He'll perform a number from the show called Corner of the Sky. Callum.
Thank you. I am going to live a life that is extraordinary. I know that there is something completely fulfilling, and I'm gonna find it. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do or where I want to go, but everything has its season, everything has its time. Show me a reason and I'll soon show you a rhyme. Cats fit on the windowsill, children fit in the snow. So why do I feel I don't fit in anywhere I go? The rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. Every man has his daydreams, every man has his goal. People like the way dreams have of sticking to the soul. Thunderclouds have their lightning, nightingales have their song. And don't you see, I want my life to be something more than long. Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. So many men seem destined to settle for something small, but I won't rest until I know I'll have it all. So don't ask where I'm going, just listen when I'm gone. And far away you'll hear me singing softly to the dawn. The rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the Thank you.
I'm here with the actor Callum Bergman. He plays Lewis in Pippin. Yes. You got to come see this. Now tell us about Lewis.
Sure. Lewis is he is Pippin's half brother.
Yeah, I can tell. Woo.
And he is a lot of fun. He's a little bit sneaky and he's a little bit conniving, but he's very funny and he's very.
Yeah, you was. You were over the top.
I enjoy being over the top.
Callan, you did a great job with Lewis last night. I really enjoyed your character when you came on stage, especially with your mom, when you were there too on stage with your mom and then with your father and things like that. Oh my God! I mean, the show, you really brought a lot to the show. Now tell us, how did you begin acting?
Sure. I actually started acting when I was in 5th grade in school.
What was that, 2 years ago?
And I just fell in love with it, and so I kept going. I kept doing the plays and the musicals in high school, and I decided to go to college for musical theater. And I studied musical theater and dance, and then that led me to New York, and here I am today.
Now, is Pippin one of your favorite shows?
Pippin, since doing it, it is one of my favorite shows. I love it. I saw it in high school, and I always wanted to play Pippin. I never saw myself playing Lewis, but I always wanted to play Pippin, and I get to play Lewis, and I get to understudy Pippin. So it's pretty cool. It's the best of both worlds.
It is the best of both worlds, but you gave us the best out there on stage last night, and I really enjoyed your character. And also, you a dancer, singer.
Yeah, I'm a dancer, singer, actor, and gymnast. So with this show, it's perfect because they actually cater the part to me and to my strengths, and they add a little bit of tumbling in there. So come check it out, and you can see me flip around on stage.
You sure can. But not only see him flip around, you can also see him bring Lewis, that character, to life, and you really enjoy that. Thank you, Callan. I really appreciate this. And like I said, you did a great performance last night when I saw it. All right?
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sabrina Harper. She's in Pippin. Very exciting show. My heart is still beating fast, but also watching her on stage as the stepmom. Sabrina, tell us the name of your character.
My character is Fastrada.
And who is she?
She is the stepmother of Pippin and the wife to Charlemagne.
Ooh, and she would do some evil things to Pippin, but also to Charlemagne, too.
Oh, yes, of course. It's all about, finding that power.
That's right.
But she's just an ordinary housewife, just wants to be loved, that's all.
Just an ordinary housewife, and every housewife would do the same thing that you did.
Of course.
On stage. Tell us, Sabrina, how long you been acting? For a while?
I have been performing actually since I was 5 years old. So I started really, really young. I've been part of the Pippin company for the last 2 years now.
Really?
Yes.
Now, it originated in the 70s. Now, This is a new production. As a matter of fact, you're also working with a woman that who's doing this for the first time,
Yes.
Adrienne Barbeau. But this new production, tell us a little bit about what are some of the changes in it?
Oh, well, we've added, obviously, in comparison to the 70s version, we've added a whole new element of circus. We have people flying through the air.
Ooh, that was fantastic.
Great. It's really got that extra artistry to it. So we don't only have the choreography of Fosse and brilliant singing and acting, but just this extra element of circus that's death-defying.
That element of Fosse, which I really enjoyed, and is still sexy today. Now, did they have to teach you a lot of those, or were you familiar with the Fosse movements?
I was familiar with the Fosse movement from school and from over my years of experience, but especially for some of our acrobats that weren't familiar with it, they were taught. We had Chet Walker, who our choreographer was. He came in and worked with our associate choreographer and dance captains and the acrobats. They were learning some of those typical Fosse walks, Fosse moves. But most of them have it already, because if you think about it, Fosse just was a very sensual, sexual
Oh,
person.
yes.
So it's really, he would tell stories with your body. And yeah, most of our acrobats, they obviously already tell stories with their bodies through their artistry, and we just added that extra little tweak to it.
Yeah. You look like you also learned a little ballet too. You know a little bit?
I did.
Because I was really watching you last night.
Thank you. I did. Growing up, I got a full scholarship to study dance with the Stuttgart Ballet. In Germany. So I studied dance abroad, but I also, over the years, I studied with the Joffrey and in my hometown, Laguna Beach, with Ballet Pacifica. So I do have ballet under my belt.
I'm very familiar with the Joffrey Ballet.
Oh, yes.
Very familiar with them.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of their performances, and I'm still at awe with them.
For me, one of the first pieces that blew my mind, that really made me realize I want to do not only classical ballet, but adding this jazz element and style, was Joffrey did billboards many, many years ago. I think it was like in the early 90s. Check it out. It's probably on YouTube somewhere, but it's called Billboards, and it was to the music of Prince.
I saw that. I saw that live.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, that was a ballet that blew my mind.
Yeah, I saw it in Chicago. They performed it in Chicago because I'm from Chicago originally. Oh my goodness. Oh, that blew my mind.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I wish I had more time to
Yes.
spend with you, but she's fantastic in the show. You really got to see her, but also Pippin is very exciting. It's very relevant today. Really is, but she's very relevant right now.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Give me a hug.
Yes. Thank you.
Hey, I'm here at the Broward Center for the Performing Arts, and I just saw a wonderful show last night called Pippin. But here I got John Rubinistein, the original Pippin, but now he's playing Charlemagne in this production here at the Broward Center for the Performing Arts. And I saw it, and I was dazzled. I was so glad to see this man again. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. We love being here.
Now, you originated Pippin, but now you're playing Charlemagne. Tell us a little bit about your transition.
Well, you know, the show is very different now. It's different for many reasons, partly because of the times we find ourselves in. When we did Pippin originally, it was during the Vietnam War, and so the Charlemagne character is you know, he's the emperor of the Holy Roman Empire, and he's killing people right and left and taking
Right.
over countries. So war in this show is a big metaphor. And in those days, it had a slightly different feeling because everybody was involved in the Vietnam War. We saw it on TV every night.
Right.
There was the draft, so everybody's family was affected. Now we're still at war, but it's
Doesn't
not.
involve everyone.
They learned their lesson. Hey,
Yep.
we want to make war again, but let's not put it on TV so all the people out there won't get mad at us, and we can keep the war going on much longer. So now when we do the war business, it's more entertainment, sadly.
Yeah, I
than
saw
it-
that last night.
Yeah.
More entertainment. Now, you as Charlemagne, the big king, and now your son Pippin comes from school. And, you know, I love that storyline. What about you?
It's a story really that we all go through. It has really very little to do with Charlemagne. It's not a historical play.
Yeah, yes, it's fictional.
It has to do with what we all realize at a relatively early age, that we've got this one shot. This is our life, and what do we do to make a mark or to just feel fulfilled, to be extraordinary, to do something that's worthwhile? And that's the journey of life, and we try this and we fail at that and we succeed at this, but different things happen. and we try to figure out something to make ourselves feel that we've been important, that we've made a difference, and that's Pippin's journey.
Well, you haven't failed as an entertainer. You've been on Broadway many times, and you've been in a lot of plays. Let me just ask you a quick question. How did you get started in, being an actor in the entertainment business?
I was very lucky because I went to schools, elementary school and high school in New York City. They weren't performing schools at all. They were actually quite rigorous academic schools. But they took their public speaking and singing and learning poetry, they took that seriously. It wasn't considered just a sort of an extracurricular thing. Mm-hmm. So by the time I was 12, 13 years old, I knew I wanted to be an actor. It was just something that I was in many plays already in school and learned techniques so that I wanted to develop them. And plus I lived in New York. So I went to the theater.
The entertainment capital of the United States.
Yeah, and it was affordable in those days. So a kid going to high school could afford to go to a Broadway show or even see it 2 or 3 times. Whereas now the ticket prices make it very, very difficult. Oh, yeah. So I felt I was very fortunate, but at a very early age I knew what I wanted to do.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
I'm glad to take a couple of minutes with a man I've always watched, a man I always admired, who also enjoyed your talent. You're a very talented person.
Well, thank you.
Keep up the good work. And Pippin, you got to come see him, and you got to come see the show. It is fabulous. Thank you. I'm at the Broward Performing Arts Center, and I just saw Pippin, but I just saw this young woman right here playing the grandma, Adrienne Barbeau. I've always been a big fan of hers, and she did a very good job. Leslie, fabulous, fantastic. But she's here with me right now, and I got all to myself. Welcome, Adrienne.
Thank you very much.
Now, tell us the name of your character.
Bertha. I play Pippin's grandmother.
Now, I heard, is this the first time you played this part?
Last night was my first performance.
Yeah, and you did very well.
Thank you very much.
And I know you've been on Broadway and television and movies and things like that, but what attracted you to this character?
Well, I think initially her philosophy of life, which you learn in the song, but when else am I going to get the opportunity to hang upside down from a trapeze 20 feet in the air singing my song? I thought, well, yeah, I'm going to give that a try.
Now, how much practice did you do to perfect just that one scene on the trapeze?
I've had 2 weeks rehearsal with the acrobatic master and Preston Jameson, who was my porter. Mm-hmm. I'm just learning these terms, He was I'm the flyer and he's the porter. Right. So I had an opportunity to work on it a little bit in LA. I'd say maybe I had 20 hours.
Oh, okay. Well, you did very well.
Thank you.
For that little short time, really, because I know it'll take a lot of people it will take me probably half my life to learn that. But you've been on Broadway before. And Pippin, why did this story seem so fascinating to you?
Well, 2 reasons, I guess. I mean, first of all, it's the story of a young man's quest for the meaning of life. And I have 2 18-year-olds and a 30-year-old, and I think they're both probably still questing for the meaning of life, aren't we all?
That's right.
And I was very attracted to the character. But more than that, the entire production of Pippin, which is, I never got to see the original back in the early 70s because I was doing Fiddler on the Roof at the time on Broadway.
Not only that, movies too.
Yeah. I went from Fiddler to Grease to movies and television and writing. I've got a couple of books out.
Yeah, I understand you got a new book coming out too, right?
New book coming out next month, I'm hoping, Make Me Dead. And my second novel, Love Bites, is going to be turned into a feature.
Wow, who's directing it?
That hasn't been set. I have an idea, but until the papers are signed, I'm not.
I understand. But
I'm very excited about it. It'll be one of the first productions from Carolco, the new Carolco, who you may know from all of the big Terminator films.
Oh, yes, I'm very familiar with them, that production company.
And I got to co-write the screenplay, which I never thought I would be doing at this age of my life.
And is this your first time co-writing a screenplay?
My first screenplay ever, yeah. I just started writing maybe 10 years ago. I never thought, when I was back doing Fiddler and everybody else was doing Pippin, it never crossed my mind I'd end up taking on a whole new career in addition to. So.
Well, just like the play, there's many things to do.
And that's what my character says, you know. Live in the moment. This is what we have. Don't stop worrying about the future. Take advantage of now.
That's what I'm trying to do right now. Adrienne, this has been a pleasure with you.
Thank you.
I've always been a big fan of yours, but I want a hug, please.
Join us, come and waste an hour or two. We got magic to do, just for you. It's a miracle place to play. We've got parts to perform, hearts to warm, as we go along our
Hey, I just saw Pippin last night, but now I'm going to talk to David Thompson. He's, what are you?
I'm the wardrobe manager for the tour.
Wardrobe man. I get ready to call them the costumers. And last night in the costumes, they were sexy, they were brilliant, and they were beautiful. So he's going to talk about some of them. And I'm very interested in them because, like I said, they were brilliant, they were colorful, and they were sexy. David, welcome to Your Entertainment Ticket.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
How long you been with the show?
I've been with the tour since day one, since July 1st.
Wow. Now we're here in South Florida.
Finally.
And these costumes are fabulous. So I remember this one from last night. Tell us about this one.
This is an example of one of our gentleman's war costumes. We have 14 different variations on this costume in the show.
Oh, yeah, that's when they were doing the war scene,
Right.
And which I thought was very entertaining from what they did. Now, I kind of remember this one, too. Which one is this one?
You saw this very briefly. This is the final costume that Fastrada, our queen, played by Sabrina Harper, she does a quick change act on the show. She starts out,
that was great.
changes into red, and she finally is in this lovely.
Now, I know that might be a little secret, but when she changed, she also changed the stockings and everything like that. I mean, how did they do that?
I can't tell you. It's magic.
It was magic last night, that type of magic, because I was amazed. Even the stockings, she took them. I said, was she naked back there?
That's what we wanted you to think when you saw it. How did they do it?
I was really thrilled. Now, and this one, too, I remember this one also.
This is an example of one of our male dancers. Because the show takes place in the circus, everyone has very bright, colorful things to wear. These are what we call our player costumes. They wear them throughout the entirety of the show because it's a show within a show. And this is just an example of one of them.
And I do remember this jacket, too. I remember this jacket.
At the finale, when Pippin goes up to jump from the trapeze into the pit of fire, this is the jacket he's wearing. We call this the Pippin jacket because it says Pippin. Clever, huh?
Yeah. Now, how often do you have to clean these after every performance, or what?
These get cleaned every day. Every day. All 500 plus pieces get cleaned. We do have a schedule. They don't get done every day, but everything is laundered either every day or every 2 days.
Oh, I understand that. So how long you been doing this?
Off and on for about 25 years.
Oh, that's good. Longevity, too. I like that.
I'm glad to be working.
Now, where you from originally?
I grew up on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi in Biloxi. But I live
okay.
in New York City now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my mama's from Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. So I've been there a
That's where
few
my
times.
grandmother lived. I spent a lot of summers in Jackson.
Oh, yeah. I've been there a few times myself.
It's been a while since I've been there, but I do have
Me too.
memories.
Yeah, right. And so, what other plays have you done?
In New York City, I did the Broadway company of Pippin. I was also involved with Wicked, Kinky Boots, Cinderella, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. The list goes on and on.
I'm sure it does.
You Do one, keep jumping to the next one, and to the next one.
Well, obviously you have a reputation where they always want to hire you to do that, so you must have a good reputation and you must do a very good job. Well, you did a good one last night.
Well, thank you very much. I do try.
Oh, that's
I take
good.
pride in my job.
We all do. And thank you very much for
You're
spending
very
time with your
welcome.
entertainment ticket. And like I said, these costumes were very good, beautiful, and colorful.
Thank
you did a
you
good
very
job.
much. Thank you.
And you seem like you're doing it for the rest of your life.
I certainly hope so.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm here with the stage manager of Pippin and really did a great job because I really enjoyed the show. This is Terrence. Welcome to your entertainment ticket.
Thank you so much, Mr. Al. It's an honor to be here. We're here in Fort Lauderdale for 2 weeks, and I'm excited to be here and definitely to be with the show. So I think we're all ready to bust out these 2 weeks of great performances.
Now, tell us a little bit about the work of a stage manager, because few people probably don't understand what it is. I've been a stage manager before on a few plays. I know what it is, but why don't you tell us what you do for Pippin?
It's a lot of work. So I guess a lot of people assume, like, what is a stage manager? And you just kind of stand there and watch the show, and all day you stand and watch. But there's a lot of details that go into standing and watching. It's making sure that everyone is there. You have to be familiar with everyone's track, and by everyone, we have a cast of about 40, a little bit under 40 people, and I have to be very familiar with their track. Like, let's say Callan, one of the guy who sung, and he's Lewis, and he plays backup as Pippin. He gets out there, but let's say he has to grab the sword and like move the stool, and let's say if he should ever call out, I have to remember everything that he does in the show that's physical as far as his lines, and so that way if he calls out, the show can move the exact same way it's been moving. And you know, I'm also, as the circus coordinator, in charge of the acrobats and what they do and with each other. So if someone should get hurt, I still have to create in other ways, find different avenues to create the visual poetry that you guys see. So it's always like watching every single detail in the show, and I'm trying to go there in my head now. It's like you have to watch this and watch that and make sure that all the beats hit. So
Yeah, also, even if they leave a piece of the scenery or something like a prop on the stage, you got to make sure that they get it off in time without missing the beat or the beat of the show, right?
Right, yes. I don't want to say that it's like the patrol, but it's just making sure that everything goes safe, and you don't want anything to be left on stage to hurt someone else, and then you don't want someone else to forget, because everyone on the show, they're completely different. And for someone to see something on stage, some people might think, oh great, I'll just wing it, and some people are like, oh, the stage is different, what should I do? So you just have to kind of keep everything as the same so that everyone's happy.
And you're also in tune with the lighting people and the sound people too, right?
Yeah, and I'm in tune with everyone. I communicate with everyone. I know when everyone's coming in and when everyone's going out. So it's a lot of work.
It is. Trust me, I've done it. I know exactly what he's talking about. Now, are you an actor too?
No, not at all.
So you always been behind the scenes?
Well, I was an artist for Cirque du Soleil for several years and a dancer before that. But so now I'm here as a coordinator and someone who just to watch fine detail and just to jot it all down. So, yeah.
Well, Terrence, you're doing a good job. I saw the production last night. You did an excellent job. I really enjoyed it last night. I had fun watching it. It's so colorful and sexy, and wow, you're doing a good job putting it all together. And nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too, Al. Right. Have a good day today, and we will continue to be out here for the next 2 weeks.
Thank you very much.
This is your entertainment ticket. Latest and greatest movie reviews and interviews. This is your entertainment ticket. This is your entertainment ticket. Latest and greatest movie.